Stop scrolling for a moment because the next coin we are looking at could be hiding in an old collection of forgotten coin jar or a box of loose change sitting somewhere in your home. Millions of Jefferson nickels have been produced over the years, but some coins become fascinating because of the small details most people never notice. A date, a missing mint mark, an unusual surface appearance, or a rare condition can completely change how collectors look at a simple 5-cent coin. Today on $1 Million Coins USA, we're uncovering the story of a 1,967 Monticello 5 cents coin with no mint mark and a unique green layer appearance. This is the kind of coin that many people might ignore, while collectors carefully examine every detail searching for something special. What makes this nickel interesting? Why do collectors study old coins under magnification? And what hidden features could separate an ordinary coin from a fascinating collectible? Stay with me until the end, because this is only the first discovery in our journey through some of the most interesting old Monticello 5-cent coins. The final moments reveal why collectors never stop searching. Coin number 1, the 1,967 Monticello 5 cents with no mint mark and a green zinc layer appearance. At first glance, this coin may appear to be just another Jefferson nickel from the past. But experienced collectors understand that every coin carries a story. The history behind the design, the condition it survived in, and the unique characteristics found on its surface can create a completely different level of interest. The Jefferson nickel is one of America's most recognizable coins. Since its introduction in 1938, this coin has represented one of the most influential presidents in United States history, Thomas Jefferson. The design has remained popular with collectors because it combines American history, architecture, and classic coin artistry. The front side of the coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. This famous image was created by designer Felix Schlag, whose design was selected after a national competition. Jefferson's portrait shows the detailed craftsmanship that makes this nickel series so popular among collectors. Look closely at the front of the coin and you will find important details, including the word liberty, the date, and the phrase, "In God we trust." Every small element matters when collectors evaluate a coin because sharp details and strong preservation can increase interest. The reverse side features the famous Monticello building, Jefferson's historic home in Virginia. This beautiful architectural design is why many collectors refer to the Jefferson nickel as the Monticello 5 cents coin. The reverse displays the words Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The image of Monticello connects the coin to American history and makes it instantly recognizable. The 1,967 Jefferson nickel was produced during an important period in American coin history. During the 1960s, the United States Mint was dealing with changes in coin production because of increasing demand for circulating coins. This specific example has no mint mark. During this era, coins produced at the Philadelphia Mint often carried no mint mark, which helps collectors identify where the coin was produced. The composition of the 1,967 Jefferson nickel is also interesting. Unlike older nickels made with different materials during special periods, regular Jefferson nickels from this era were made from a copper-nickel alloy. This combination gave the coin durability while maintaining its traditional appearance. The coin has a standard weight of approximately 5 grams, a diameter of about 21.21 millimeters, and a thickness of around 1.95 millimeters. These official specifications help collectors compare examples and identify unusual characteristics. Now let's talk about the feature that makes this particular coin stand out, the described green zinc layer appearance. Collectors pay close attention to unusual surface appearances because they can make a coin visually different from common examples. A green layer or unusual coloration may develop due to environmental exposure, chemical reactions, storage conditions, or other factors. Experts carefully examine such features to determine the origin and authenticity of the appearance. A coin's surface can tell a story. The marks, colors, and changes that appear over decades may show how a coin traveled through time. However, professional collectors know that unusual appearance alone does not automatically determine value. Authentication and careful examination are always important. The condition of this featured coin is described as a rare condition example. Collectors usually look for coins with strong details, clear lettering, attractive surfaces, and minimal damage. The better preserved the coin remains, the more attention it may receive from collectors. When experts examine a Jefferson nickel, They carefully inspect Jefferson's hair details, facial features, the lettering around the coin, the Monticello building, and the overall strike quality. Even tiny differences can influence collector interest. Rarity is another major factor in the world of coin collecting. A coin does not become interesting only because it is old. Collectors look for coins with unusual qualities, limited availability, strong preservation, and characteristics that separate them from millions of similar coins. The 1967 Jefferson nickel is an exciting coin for collectors because it represents a period of American history and continues a design that has remained popular for generations. Many collectors enjoy searching through old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes because discoveries can happen when people least expect them. A coin that looks ordinary to one person may become an interesting collectible to another person who understands what details to look for. Collector demand for Jefferson nickels remains strong because they are accessible, historically important, and filled with opportunities for discovery. Beginners enjoy collecting them, while experienced collectors continue searching for unusual examples and special characteristics. If you discover an old Jefferson nickel, there are a few important things to remember. Avoid cleaning the coin because cleaning can damage the original surface. Handle it carefully by the edges, store it in a protective holder, and compare it with reliable coin references. If a coin appears unusual, professional grading and authentication can help determine its true collectible status. Experts use specialized equipment and knowledge to evaluate condition, originality, and rarity. And now comes the moment many collectors want to know. According to the featured example in today's story, this 1,967 Monticello 5 cents with no mint mark and green zinc layer appearance could be worth up to $60,500, depending on authenticity, condition, rarity, and collector demand. This is exactly why coin collectors never ignore small details. A simple-looking nickel can become a fascinating piece of history when the right combination of features comes together. The excitement of coin collecting is not only about value, it is about discovery. It is about holding a piece of American history that has survived for decades and wondering where that coin has been before reaching your hands. So before you overlook an old nickel, take a closer look. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Study the condition. The smallest details can sometimes create the biggest stories. If you enjoyed this journey into the world of rare coins, make sure to subscribe and join us for more amazing discoveries. Because your next hidden treasure could already be waiting somewhere nearby, overlooked by thousands of people who never realized its story. It may look like a simple 5-cent coin, but collectors know that the smallest details can sometimes create the biggest discoveries. A date, a mint mark, a unique surface appearance, a special condition. These are the details that can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a fascinating collectible. Today, we are uncovering coin number 2, the 1,970 Monticello 5 cents with an S mint mark and a black layer appearance on both the front and reverse sides. This is the type of coin that many people might pass over without a second thought. But experienced collectors understand that every old coin deserves a closer look because history often hides in the smallest places. The Jefferson nickel is one of the most recognized coins in American history. First introduced in 1938, this coin was created to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States and one of the key figures in American history. The design of the Jefferson nickel represents more than just money. It represents history, architecture, and the legacy of a nation. The front side of this coin features the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. This iconic design was created by Felix Schlag, whose artwork was selected through a national competition. His design brought a detailed and recognizable image of Jefferson to millions of Americans. When collectors examine the front of a Jefferson nickel, they carefully study Jefferson's facial details, the lettering, the date, and the overall sharpness of the strike. Every small feature can provide important information about the coin's condition. The reverse side features Monticello, Thomas Jefferson's famous Virginia home. This beautiful building design is one of the main reasons collectors often refer to these coins as Monticello 5 cents. The reverse includes the words Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The architectural detail of Monticello gives the coin a unique appearance that connects it directly to American history. The year 1970 was an interesting period for U.S. coin production. During this era, millions of coins were being produced to meet public demand, But collectors continued searching for examples with special qualities that made them different from regular circulation coins. This featured coin carries an S Mint mark, meaning it was produced at the San Francisco Mint. Coins from the San Francisco Mint have always attracted collector attention because of the history and reputation connected with this famous mint facility. The San Francisco Mint has produced many important American coins throughout history, and collectors often examine S Mint coins carefully because they can have unique characteristics depending on the year and series. Now let's look at this composition of this classic Jefferson nickel. The 1970 Jefferson nickel was made from a copper-nickel alloy. This combination gave the coin durability while maintaining the traditional appearance that collectors recognize today. The coin has a standard weight of approximately 5 grams. It measures about 21.21 millimeters in diameter and has a thickness of approximately 1.95 millimeters. These measurements are important because collectors compare them with official specifications when studying unusual coins. But what makes this particular example interesting is the described black layer appearance on both the front and reverse sides. A coin surface can tell a story. Over decades, coins may experience different environments, storage conditions, and natural changes. Collectors often study unusual colors, textures, and surface characteristics because they can make a coin visually distinctive. When experts examine a coin with an unusual appearance, they do not only look at the color. They carefully inspect the entire coin, including the strike quality, design details, edges, lettering, and overall preservation. A unique appearance can create curiosity among collectors, but professional evaluation is important because experts determine whether a surface feature is natural, environmental, or connected to another characteristic. The condition of a coin is one of the most important parts of collecting. This featured 1970 Monticello. 5 cents is described as being in a rare condition with an unusual black layer appearance. Collectors often search for coins that maintain strong details despite their age. They look for clear lettering, well-defined designs, attractive surfaces, and coins that have avoided heavy damage. The better preserved the coin remains, the more attention it may receive from collectors. Rarity is another important factor. A coin does not become interesting only because it is old. Collectors look for combinations of features that make an example stand apart from millions of others. The 1970 Jefferson nickel already has historical importance because it represents a specific period of American coin production. Adding a special surface appearance and collector interest can make certain examples more fascinating to study. Collectors around the world enjoy searching for Jefferson nickels because they are connected to American history and offer many opportunities for discoveries. Some collectors focus on dates, some focus on mint marks, and others search for unusual conditions and varieties. This is why old coins should never be ignored. A coin that appears ordinary at first glance may contain details that only a careful collector would notice. If you discover an older Jefferson nickel, there are several important tips to remember. First, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage the original surface and may reduce collector interest. Second, handle the coin carefully. Hold it by the edges to avoid adding fingerprints or unnecessary marks. Third, store it properly in a protective holder to help preserve its condition. And finally, if a coin appears unusual, consider professional authentication and grading. Experts can provide a clear understanding of its characteristics and collectible status. Now comes the moment many viewers are waiting for. According to the featured example in today's story, this 1970 Monticello 5 cents with an S Mint mark and black layer appearance on the front and reverse sides could be worth up to $63,300, depending on authenticity, condition, rarity, and collector demand. This is why collectors continue searching through old collections, coin jars, and forgotten boxes. They know that every coin has a story, and sometimes the smallest discoveries create the most exciting journeys. The true beauty of coin collecting is not only about numbers. It is about history. It is about discovering a piece of the past that has survived through generations. A Jefferson nickel from decades ago has traveled through time. It may have been held by different people, carried through different places, and eventually found its way into the hands of someone who recognized its potential. So before you ignore an old nickel, take a closer look. Check the date. Check the mint mark. Study the condition. The hidden details may surprise you. If you enjoyed today's journey into the world of valuable coins, make sure to subscribe and join our community of collectors and treasure hunters. because your next amazing coin discovery could already be waiting somewhere nearby. Today, we are exploring coin number 3, the 1975 Monticello 5 cents with a D-mint mark and an old look condition. This is the kind of coin that many people might overlook it because it does not appear new or shiny. But collectors often understand that a coin's age, appearance, preservation, and history can make it much more interesting. Every old coin has a journey. It has passed through time, through different hands, and through different moments in history. The question is, what makes this particular Jefferson nickel stand out? The Jefferson nickel has been a major part of American coin history since 1938. It was created to honor Thomas Jefferson, the third president of the United States, a founding figure whose influence shaped the early history of America. The design of this coin is recognized by collectors around the world because it combines the image of a famous American leader with one of the nation's most historic buildings. On the front side of the coin is the portrait of Thomas Jefferson. This design was created by Felix Schlag, whose artwork was selected after a national competition held by the United States Mint. His design became one of the longest-running portraits in American coinage. Collectors carefully study the front of the Jefferson nickel because every detail matters. The strength of Jefferson's portrait, the clarity of the date, the lettering, and the overall strike quality all help determine how a coin is viewed. The reverse side displays Monticello, Jefferson's famous home in Virginia. This architectural design is the reason many collectors refer to the Jefferson nickel as the Monticello 5 cents. The reverse shows the detailed image of Monticello, along with the words Monticello, 5 cents, and United States of America. The design connects the coin directly to American history and makes it instantly recognizable. The year 1975 represents an interesting period in U.S. coin production. During this time, millions of Jefferson nickels were produced for everyday use, but collectors continued searching for examples with special characteristics that separated them from ordinary circulation coins. This featured coin carries a D-mint mark, meaning it was produced at the Denver Mint. The Denver Mint has a long history of producing American coins, and coins with the D-mint mark are often studied by collectors looking for special examples. A mint mark is one of the first things collectors check because it reveals where a coin was produced. A small letter can completely change the story behind a coin. Now let's look at the physical details of this classic nickel. The 1975 Jefferson nickel was produced using a copper-nickel composition. This durable metal combination allowed the coin to survive decades of circulation while maintaining its recognizable design. The coin has a standard weight of approximately 5 grams. Its diameter measures about 21.21 millimeters, and its thickness is approximately 1.95 millimeters. These specifications help collectors compare coins and identify unusual characteristics. What makes this featured coin interesting is its described old look condition. Over many decades, coins can develop different appearances because of circulation, storage conditions, and natural aging. Some collectors appreciate coins that show their history through their surfaces because they display the journey of the coin over time. An aged appearance can make a coin feel unique. Instead of looking like a recently produced piece, it shows signs of the many years it has survived. However, experienced collectors know that a coin's appearance is only one part of the evaluation process. They also examine authenticity, preservation, strike quality, and any special characteristics that may increase collector interest. When experts inspect the Jefferson nickel, they carefully examine the portrait of Jefferson, the details of Monticello, the lettering, the edges, and the overall condition of the coin. Even small details that seem invisible to the average person can become important to collectors. The rarity of a coin is not always about how old it is. A coin becomes more interesting when it has a combination of qualities that make it different from millions of others. Collectors often search for unusual surfaces, special varieties, mint errors, strong strikes, and coins preserved in attractive condition. These characteristics can create additional interest among people who study American coins. The 1975 Jefferson nickel has historical value because it represents a specific era of American coin production. It is a reminder of the coins that were used during everyday life in the 1970s. Many collectors enjoy finding coins from past decades because each one represents a moment in history. A simple nickel can connect collectors to another time period and tell a story that cannot be replaced. Collector demand for Jefferson nickels remains strong because the series is popular with both beginners and experienced collectors. Some collectors build complete Jefferson nickel collections by date and mint mark. Others focus on special appearances, unusual examples, or coins with interesting histories. This is why old coins should never be ignored. A coin that appears ordinary at first glance may have details that create excitement for someone who understands collecting. If you discover an old Jefferson nickel, there are important steps to follow. First, avoid cleaning the coin. Cleaning can damage original surfaces and may reduce collector interest. Second, handle the coin carefully by the edges to protect the surface. Third, store it in a proper protective holder to help preserve its condition. And finally, if the coin appears unusual or special, consider professional authentication and grading. Experts can examine the coin and provide a better understanding of its characteristics. Now comes the moment many collectors want to know. According to the featured example in today's story, this 1975 Monticello, 5 cents with a D mint mark and old look condition, could be worth up to $43,300, depending on authenticity, condition, rarity, and collector demand. This is why collectors continue searching through old coin jars, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes. They understand that every coin has a story, and sometimes the smallest discoveries become the most exciting. The true value of coin collecting is not only measured by a number, it is measured by history, discovery, and the connection between the past and the present. A Jefferson nickel from 1975 may have traveled through countless places before reaching a collector today. It represents a small piece of American history that has survived for generations. So before you ignore an old nickel, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the mint mark. Examine the condition. The details you discover may surprise you. If you enjoyed today's coin journey, make sure to subscribe and join our community of collectors and treasure hunters, because your next amazing coin discovery could already be waiting somewhere nearby. Today we are exploring coin number 4, the 1994 Monticello 5 cents with no mint mark, featuring a gray spot and layer appearance on the front side with a rare condition. This is the final coin in our journey, and it reminds us why collectors never ignore old coins. Even a coin that appears ordinary can become an interesting piece of history when unusual characteristics are discovered. The Jefferson nickel has been a favorite among American coin collectors for generations. Since 1938, this 5-cent coin has carried the image of Thomas Jefferson, one of the most important figures in American history. Unlike many coins that focus only on symbols, the Jefferson nickel combines a historical portrait with an architectural masterpiece. This combination gives the coin a special place in American numismatics. The front side of the coin features Thomas Jefferson's portrait. The design was created by Felix Schlag, whose artwork was chosen through a national competition organized by the United States Mint. Jefferson's portrait shows remarkable detail. His facial features, hair, and overall appearance represent the craftsmanship involved in creating a design meant to be used by millions of Americans. Collectors carefully examine these details because the condition of the portrait can reveal how much wear a coin has experienced throughout its journey. Every letter and number matters when collectors evaluate a coin. Turning the coin over reveals the famous Monticello building. This historic home of Thomas Jefferson has appeared on the reverse of the Jefferson nickel for decades and remains one of the most recognizable designs in American coin history. The reverse side displays Monticello, 5 cents, in United States of America. The detailed architecture connects this small coin to a much larger story of American history. The year 1994 represents a modern era of Jefferson nickel production. By this time, the design had already become one of the most familiar coins in American daily life. Millions of Jefferson nickels were produced during this period, but collectors understand that production numbers alone do not tell the entire story. Certain examples become interesting because of their condition, appearance, or unusual characteristics. This featured coin has no mint mark, which means it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. The absence of a mint mark is an important detail collectors check when identifying where a coin was made. A small missing letter can reveal important information about a coin's origin. Now let's look at the physical details of this classic Jefferson nickel. The 1994 Jefferson nickel was made from a copper-nickel composition, a durable metal combination used for many circulating United States nickels. This material allowed the coin to survive everyday use while maintaining its recognizable design. The coin weighs approximately 5 grams. It has a diameter of about 21.21 millimeters and a thickness of approximately 1.95 millimeters. These measurements help collectors compare examples and confirm whether a coin matches official specifications. Now we come to the feature that makes this particular example interesting: the described gray spot and layer appearance on the front side. A coin's surface can reveal part of its journey. Over years of circulation and storage, coins can develop different appearances due to environmental conditions, handling, and natural changes. Collectors often study unusual colors, spots, and surface characteristics because they can make an example visually different from common coins. However, experienced collectors know that every unusual feature must be carefully examined. Experts look at the entire coin, including the strike, design details, originality, and overall preservation. The condition of a coin is one of the most important factors in collecting. This featured 1,994 Monticello 5 cents is described as having a rare condition with an unusual surface appearance. Collectors search for coins that maintain strong details, clear lettering, and attractive surfaces. A coin that has survived years while maintaining a special appearance can create interest among collectors. When experts examine a Jefferson nickel, they look closely at Jefferson's portrait, the Monticello building, the lettering, the edges, and the overall quality of the strike. Even tiny details can create a completely different collecting experience. Rarity is not only about age. A newer coin can also become interesting if it has unusual qualities that separate it from ordinary examples. Collectors often search through old collections, coin jars, and inherited belongings because they know unexpected discoveries can happen anywhere. The excitement comes from the possibility that a coin overlooked by one person could become an interesting discovery for another. Collector demand for Jefferson nickels remains strong because they represent American history in a simple and accessible form. Some collectors focus on building complete date collections. Others search for unusual surfaces, varieties, and coins with special characteristics. Every collector has a different reason for appreciating these coins. If you discover an old Jefferson nickel, there are important steps to follow. Never clean the coin because cleaning can damage its original surface and reduce collector interest. Handle it carefully by the edges to avoid adding marks or fingerprints. Store it properly in a protective holder to help preserve its condition. And if you believe you have found something unusual, consider professional authentication and grading. Experts can help evaluate the coin's characteristics and collectible importance. Now comes the moment many viewers have been waiting for. According to the featured example in today's story, this 1,994 Monticello 5 cents with no mint mark and gray spot and layer appearance could be worth up to $22,200 depending on authenticity, condition, rarity, and collector demand. This is why collectors continue searching. They know that every coin has a history, and sometimes the smallest details can create the most fascinating discoveries. The true excitement of coin collecting comes from the journey. It comes from finding something unexpected and learning the story behind a small piece of metal that has traveled through time. A Jefferson nickel from 1994 may have passed through countless hands before reaching a collector today. It represents a moment in American history and a reminder that treasures are not always found in obvious places. So before you ignore an old nickel, take a closer look. Check the date. Look for the mint mark. Study the surface. The details you discover may surprise you. This is $1 Million Coins USA, bringing you fresh rare coin discoveries, historical stories, and collector treasures every day. If you enjoyed this coin adventure, make sure to subscribe and join our community of coin lovers and treasure hunters, because your next amazing discovery could already be waiting somewhere nearby.